Memorial Day weekend, this weekend, the unofficial start to summer. But what it really is, it's a day that the U.S. has designated as a day to recognize and mourn those that we have lost wearing the uniform in the service to our country. How are you going to do that this weekend? I'm going to give you a couple ideas to think about, and I'm going to honor some folks here right at the end. First, a little bit of the history of Memorial Day. Where'd it come from? Civil War. Confederate families would spread flowers over the grave sites of those soldiers that they lost in the Civil War. They called it Decoration Day. And it needed to be done in May because they needed the flowers to be up. That's where it started. Union families started doing the same thing. After the Civil War, 1868, an organization called the Grand Army of the Republic. Think of it as like a American Legion type organization. There was a general there, James A. Logan. He, at a Decoration Day ceremony, had a proclamation that this should be done throughout the country, which it started being done. And there's even plaques with this proclamation at a number of national cemeteries because they made the plaques and put them out there. Now, what happened? When did it officially, so this continued. When did it officially become Memorial Day? As it continued between the Civil War and World War I, it started being called Memorial Day, but it wasn't official. After World War I, let's honor all those soldiers, all the veterans that we have lost during the war, okay? All those who wore a uniform and were killed. It became that, so now it became honoring everyone in all wars. It wasn't until 1966, which I find hard to believe, 1966 that we had our first Memorial Day. That is a resolution by Congress, and May 30th, 1966, celebrated by Lyndon Baines Johnson. First one, May 30th, 1966. Now, in 1968, became the last Monday in May, when we went to all holidays on Mondays. So there's a brief history. Now, the purpose, honor those who we've lost in uniform. And I'm going to bet that you are somehow connected to someone that you could actually honor. Think about your schools, elementary schools, high schools, colleges. Are there any memorials, anyone who has been lost over time? Those are folks who walked the same hallways as you, went to the same school, things in common. You might be related to friends of theirs. You might be related to or connected with other folks in the community. So schools, good start. Town, what about your town? Parks are named, those kind of things. Roads, other memorials are there. Last Memorial Day, I talked about roads, bridges. A good practice to have when you're driving in the car with family, think about when you see this is so-and-so Memorial Highway, who was that individual and what did they do to get this, why is this bridge, why is this town, why is this park named after them? Find out who it is. You'd be surprised there might be a connection. For me, I went to United States Naval Academy and we have a memorial hall where we list everyone who we lost by class in uniform. And I'm going to recognize those and remember them here today. If you participate in Wreaths for America, when you put a wreath in front of a gravesite, you say the name because families never want to have that individual forgotten. And that's a case here. So for my class, the United States Naval Academy, I'm going to read the names of 13 people, actually 14 people who we lost in service to our country. This is the order that we lost them in. Kerry Jones, Ensign, United States Navy. David Nairn, First Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. David Sperling, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Thomas Doyle, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Glenn Ziegler, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Mike Wilson, Lieutenant, United States Navy. John Yandell, Lieutenant, United States Navy. William Davidson, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Paul Station, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Robert Matheny, Lieutenant, United States Navy. James Love, Lieutenant, United States Navy. Dan D. Westbelier, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy. Robert Dolan, Captain, United States Navy. Those are 13 people that we lost while they were wearing the uniform. We have one other name on the plaque on Memorial Hall, and that is Michael McGinty. He was killed in the World Trade Center on 9/11. Those are folks that we never want to forget, their families never want to forget. Have a great, happy, and safe Memorial Day weekend, and take some time to see who you're connected to and remember them.